Welcome back to Not My Bagg. This is season 3. We've had so many big changes. I mean, take a look at the set. And I'm sure you're wondering, where's Mum? Where's George? So they will be dropping in throughout the series regularly, but we had to sit down as a family and we wanted a way to basically bring this to you guys and all be our best selves each week. And this was the best way to do that. So we've got some themes going on running through each episode. To start off with, we've got the vibe check bag. Whoa, look at that. So with the vibe check bag, we get to know our guests now. We have a few questions, a few icebreakers to get to know them. And then we have the messy bag. So, the messy bag's where we take your dilemmas and give you, the audience, advice on your problems. And then we have the goodie bag where we give our guest a bespoke gift tailored to them. And don't we love to see it? So tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. because Not My Bag's got you covered. And let's get into the episode. Today, we have the winner of Big Brother 2024, the Queen, Ali Bromley, everyone. Oh, I feel like I'm meeting my idol. You have no idea.
I'm so nervous.
Please stop that, because I'll start perspirating and that's not what anyone wants. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I have a question for you. I need you to read me from a psychologist's perspective.
Oh.
And I'm nervous. My voice is shaking.
Quite genuine.
Okay.
Sweet. Funny.
Thank you.
A little bit quirky.
Oh, I like that. A little bit quirky.
Exactly what I said to Lily.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that clip and that's word for word. You're the first guest on our new set.
It's looking good.
Do you like it?
So good.
It's very Big Brother-esque, I thought.
It is.
So we'll treat this like a diary
And
room
I like
chair.
it's a little bit camp too. I like
Thank you. It's
Lovely.
very, very on brand for me. So we are starting a new segment today for Not My Bagg. This is the vibe check. Oh, look, it did it! It did it! Did you like that?
Yeah.
So I've got
the
just
mood.
3 icebreaker questions for you.
Okay, hit me.
For us to get to know each other, yeah?
Okay. Don't actually hit me. I'm scared.
So, who would play you in a movie about your life?
Oh my God. Who would play me in a movie?
I feel like Lana Del Rey, although she's a singer.
I was thinking Kate Winslet just because I love her,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that with a good lace front moment. Yeah, I can see that. So if you could invent a holiday in the calendar year, what day would you create?
It would have to be something about lesbians, but I feel like we already have a day.
I think there's a National Lesbian Day anyways. We'll have to
Let's make
that.
a Lesbians for Ali Day.
Lesbians for Ali Day. I've actually seen that Twitter account. There's a Twitter account, isn't there?
I haven't seen the Twitter account.
I actually run the Twitter.
Oh.
Lesbians for Ali.
You can set up the public holiday.
I'm going to do it. And what's your go-to coffee order?
Coffee order would be coconut milk flat white.
I have a coconut milk flat white.
Love a coconut.
I knew that's why I loved you. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. So, right, let's get into this, Ali. I've got so much to ask you.
Okay.
Let's start off with summing up your Big Brother experience in 3 words.
Overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. How did you feel that night before? Because I always wanted to ask people this about that feeling that you're just about to go in.
Before going into the house?
Yeah.
So I think this is where I came a bit undone because before I went into the house, I was so relaxed.
Okay.
So we're in hiding. We've got a couple of days to ourselves. I was knackered from work and I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
No one's calling me. No one's texting me. I can sit around watching Netflix on the iPad. And I was so relaxed. And then I was like, I lulled myself into a false sense of security. Then I got into the taxi and I was just like I was shaking so badly and so nervous, so anxious. So the night before I was completely chilled. And then on the way into the show, just my mind went blank. I was just trying not to fall over.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember any of it. Couldn't remember the music. Couldn't remember seeing my sister and my partner. Just shaking, scared.
It was just like autopilot to get into the house.
All I thought was keep your head up, look at people because they're actually here to look at you guys coming into the house.
Yeah.
And get in without falling over.
I think as well, when you went in, I think you were like kind of midway through people going in. So it was quite overwhelming when you went in, if I remember rightly. There was a lot going on.
Yeah. And we were just waiting in a car park. And so we're waiting in a car park and there's all these taxis with blacked out windows. So I knew that other housemates were there.
Did you see anyone?
I saw baked potato.
Oh, okay, fine.
I did. I
Give
saw
it
her
away?
going in. No, I couldn't. Someone just was like, oh, I think you guys will get on. And I think I saw the back of Lily's head stomping in at one point. I just saw this blonde hair kind of doing this mad stomp up into the studio, and I was like, okay.
And so obviously it was very overwhelming going in there. As a neurodiverse queen as well,
Yes.
was that even more stressful going into an environment like such a big change, so many different personalities?
I think so. But I got a bit complacent before, and I was like, it's fine. I navigate everyday life as a neurodivergent person. So it's only going to be like going into a new work situation or something.
Yeah.
I completely underestimated how difficult I'd find it. And I was like a rabbit in headlights when I went in. I think some of the other housemates noticed that and were commenting on it as well. But yeah, really overwhelmed. Became very shy. Like I didn't know how to talk to people. And I think I was just looking at people like this the whole time. And then I was really worried that I would look rude.
Right.
So then I was like, oh, by the way, I have this thing. Start to try and tell them.
Yeah.
I might be feeling, but yeah.
And then the clique started to form quite early on in the house, didn't they? I think from like week 1 or 2, obviously everyone had their people. How did you find that, just making friends, navigating the relationships in there? Was there anyone that you gravitated towards first off, like straight away?
Yeah, so in the very beginning, I actually was getting on really well with Khalid. So we were talking quite a lot when the other guys were in storage. And actually I got on really well with the boys at that point. Izaz I was very close with from the beginning. Tom I was very close with. I don't think they aired much of our friendship, which is a bit sad.
I'm going to be honest with you, Queen. I don't think they had much of Tom, full stop.
It's such a shame because we were really close. And I was referring to him as my little brother.
Yeah.
So then obviously I met Lily and she was my little sister in the house.
Yeah.
So there was definitely people I gravitated to straight away. Martha, when she came out of storage, just because she's so warm and bubbly. Days, just because she's so interesting. And
Days went too soon.
Way too
soon. She was such a big character.
Justice for Days.
Justice for Days. I was just saying before, I actually saw Days on the tube recently and got so nervous that I couldn't go and speak to her, which is so not me. I was just sat there staring at her just like this.
And she would have loved it. You would have got a little Days laugh, a very distinctive, like, ha, ha, ha.
I need to visit her boat. That's what I need to do.
We all need to.
We all need boat party at Daisy's. Let's do it. Why not?
Days, if you're watching.
Days, if you're watching, please comment and invite us. So in terms of the Khalid thing, I think we should touch on that. I saw a lot of theories that he fancied you. Basically, people were picking it apart and saying that the reason they think that the problem started was that he fancied you and then found out that you were a lesbian. What do you think of that commentary on the start of your relationship with Khalid?
So I didn't think that, and that's not the vibe that I got in the house, but I did suspect it when Emma made a comment to me about it. And then I was like, maybe that's why things became a bit strained, because I felt like I was just not interesting to people in the house. And I was, I guess, throwing out theories about why that might be. Maybe it's just because my chat was too dead. So I'm just a boring person. But yeah, Khalid and I resolved stuff in the house and everything was fine in the end.
Yeah.
So.
And have you seen anything? Like, have you watched any clips back of your time? Like, I mean, they showed your highlights of the arguments, things like that. Have you watched anything back?
So I've now watched a couple of episodes from the start. So I have seen a couple of my disagreements with Khalid.
Yeah.
And obviously I've looked on TikTok and I've seen that people have just edited the tiny bits out where we kind of go up against each other. So it's always awkward watching that sort of thing back. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, I can't lie. I was always team you in those situations, but I feel like when I was watching as a viewer, I aligned quite well with like how you think and how you perceive people. And I think that it is a show where a lot of people go in there with a game plan. Did you go in with any form of game plan, or did you think about that before? Or
no, my only game plan was to be myself, and just to see what happens, really. I didn't think that I would stay in very long. And then once
Did you not?
No. And then when I started having disagreements with people, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely next. And actually towards the end, when they started backdoor boogieing people out, I had my stuff packed the whole time. And I was telling Tom, I was telling everybody, right, this stuff is in this drawer, this stuff is in this cupboard. If I go, get the girls to take this out of here for me. So I was ready to go.
I knew you had it. I knew you had it in the. I knew you'd make it to the final. I think it's just without you in there, it would have been dull, and it would have just been the core, which is what I want to touch on as well, because I found that whole thing. I mean, my values didn't align with the core, but we move. How did you? That's me being so polite right now.
Very diplomatic. Well
thank you. It's the first time I've
More
ever done that in my life.
than I was in the house. So, yeah.
But you were our soldier in there. What did you think about that group starting to form? and also starting to find out what they were saying about you as well?
So I mean, it's obvious that groups formed in the house. I don't think it was obvious from the very, very beginning, but there is, I mean, I guess I can say it because it's out there anyway. I did talk about hierarchy in the house that I noticed.
You did, and I loved it. Can you recap it for me? It was the most iconic thing I've ever seen. You literally read everyone, and you put everyone. You were like, "This is the way the house is working. This is the infrastructure of the house." And I was just sat there at the TV, like.
I know. I think people got really upset about me talking about that. But just to clarify, it was just the hierarchy in the house. That was just what I observed within the house. What I didn't know is that they had also given them, I didn't know they called themselves the core, and I didn't know that they had also identified themselves as the top of the hierarchy. So I didn't know that.
Fine.
But of course, one argument is that I created that divide, and that it was, they were just retaliating.
Do you believe that?
Me. That's not how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like,
I don't believe that either, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult because obviously the house feels like a long time ago now. So it's tricky. I don't want to sort of keep talking about difficult dynamics in the house when hopefully we've all kind of moved on with our lives and we're all settling back to things. But certainly, I saw what I saw, and I've watched a couple of episodes. So I know that some context is missing, which is always a bit frustrating when you watch yourself back and you're like, there's a reason why I said that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It is what it is. And the viewers, I guess, had fun watching those dynamics.
I mean, we had fun. We were stressed out. I can't lie to you.
I was stressed out. I was having
can imagine.
Daily meltdowns in the diary room, just crying and
I was going to say
tears.
that actually. Did you ever just? Well, I mean, you've just said it, but were you like, this is too much? I have to go take myself away right now and just.
I felt
breathe.
like that almost every day at some point, and I had to kind of give myself regular pep talks just to be like, no. You have to be grateful to be here. You have to be appreciative. So many people apply to get on this show. Yeah, I mean, there was lots of fun in there, but it was very stressful because you can't escape the tricky group dynamic.
When I thought you were going to leave that day, I can't begin to tell you how much I was screaming at the telly, like, she can't go.
I was gone.
You were ready to go. You meant I could see it in your eyes. You were like, I'm going.
Then the Big Brother called me into the diary room. Obviously, they can see and hear everything. So they saw me stomping around the bedroom, like trying to pack and then telling, I think I was talking to Lily, like, don't tell the others, but I'm going.
You on the mic?
Yeah.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them, like trying to be discreet from the rest of the house. But then obviously Big Brother intervened. And I think on that day, I mean, I received a lot of criticism for saying I was going to go, but I'd made up my mind I was going. And, had it been a case that you open the door and you leave, I would have left. But just because it felt like the disagreements that I was having, I couldn't resolve them. And obviously they don't include all of that context. But some of those conversations went on for like, an hour or whatever. So sometimes it shows me kind of shutting conversations down, but that's because it had gone on for so long and there was no resolution.
Yeah, I did feel that sometimes that you were just fighting a losing battle and there was no way that you were no one was ever going to see your perspective from it. So therefore you've just got to walk away, but you then live with them.
And it's me as well, right? Because I wasn't going to back down from my position. I think had I apologized and just said, okay, I don't think that, then it would have resolved. Yeah. But I wasn't prepared to give that.
But I really rate that.
So you
stood on business, as some people would say in the house.
Fueled the fire, depending on how you look at it. Yeah. I was like, I'm happy just to agree to disagree, but this is,
But you were genuine as well.
Yeah.
With regard to the comments of calling you a red witch and a wolf, which potentially might be the most iconic quotes to come out of the series, were you surprised when you watched that back, when you heard it and you saw that it wasn't actually the joke that everyone made it out to be? What were your thoughts watching that back?
I always knew that it wasn't a joke because obviously Big Brother had told us the context.
I mean, it's an awful joke.
Yeah.
It was like, ha ha, and we were watching it like, it was kind of...
couldn't imagine that people were sitting in the corner being like, the red witch. I kind of knew that wouldn't be a thing. Like, you're not like, ha ha ha, the little wolf. I knew it wouldn't have been a joke. And I said to them, when Shegan apologised to me and said it was just a joke, I said, it may have been said tongue-in-cheek, however, it's a joke that you meant, because the context was a group of people sitting together saying, we need her out next week. If one of us is head of house, then she leaves next week. So I knew it was not a joke, but I was happy. I really like Shegan. We actually got on really well in the house. We had some really nice moments as well. He was wearing my clothes, asking to work out with me. So it did.
Oh, you got a lap dance as well?
I did.
You got your lap dance? How was that?
Yeah.
Different.
Well, I'm just not buying what he's selling, I guess.
Yeah.
It was different for me. I've never had a lap dance off a man before, so why not? Something new. But yeah, I was taken aback, but not surprise.
Yeah. And I think also from watching that clip as well, there was a lot of people instigating that behavior from him as well. It was like that pack mentality. I think a lot of the time I was watching it and there was a lot of voices that were, you know, piping up in those conversations, and it was, yeah, all geared towards yourself. Have you spoken to anyone since? Like, obviously I know I've seen you've been out with like Days, Lily, but anyone from that kind of core group or anyone outside of your friendship circle in the house, have you seen anyone since or spoken to them?
I haven't seen anyone. I've spoken to Rosie. I've had a message from Sarah as well, just saying congrats and like wish you well and stuff. Who else have I spoken to? Just Days, Lily, Dean, Martha.
Yeah.
The ones that I speak to regularly. Oh, Izaz speaks to me. We might be seeing Izaz later today.
Oh, I love Izaz.
I love Izaz.
Again, gone too soon.
I know.
I feel like the early evictions, I'd love to see
Big
people in it for longer. I saw a lot of people saying that the series should have been longer. I think years ago it used to be.
Apparently it used to be like 12 weeks. Absolutely.
Would you have done that?
No way. No way.
Yeah, that's a
I would
lot.
have been literally popping the lock off the fire doors and going out back. No way. I wouldn't have been able to cope.
Yeah. I saw as well, you had a bit of a party. And then I saw the clip where Nathan is with Baked Potato and he's like, or Rosie, now she's out the house, I'm still calling her Baked Potato.
No, we are.
And they were like, oh, there's a party we're not invited to. What was the party?
So the party, it wasn't even a party. This is the thing. It was a dinner that got a bit out of hand.
Right. Oh,
So
they're the best ones.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be a dinner for my friends and family. And then slowly it was like, oh, Lily, you may as well come. And then, oh, Days, you can come.
Okay.
Dean, you come. Dean, bring your partner. Martha, bring your partner.
Right.
Everyone is now coming. So it wasn't really never meant to be a party. It was just supposed to be a dinner for me to catch up with like my friends and family that I hadn't seen for like all the time in the house. But it escalated because we drank like 4 bottles of Prosecco before we went to dinner.
Oh, I love
and
that.
It just carried on.
So you're a
from there.
Prosecco fan?
Yeah.
Same, 100%.
Love
I've got
Prosecco.
some after if you want to have a glass before you go.
Might need one, having to rethink everything.
Sorry, I know I was about to say this is like it's giving therapy and it's giving trauma. I'm really sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. And I'm just a little bit cautious about what I should and shouldn't say, because I think my stance since I've left the house is like everybody was in a difficult situation. It was hard being in there. I think fundamentally everybody that was in there is a nice person.
Yeah.
But in that environment, there was obviously some clashes, and that's what you saw.
Yeah, and I also think that like when you're having disagreements with people, but then you're forced to stay there and try and resolve them.
Yeah.
It's so unique to like, it's such a different position to be in that you wouldn't be in any other walk of life.
Yeah.
Like naturally at home, if you had a disagreement, you would, go out, have a breather, have some air, and you just can't do that in there. So I do get it 100% from where you're coming from. That kind of moves me on to some difficult conversations you also had with Marcello in the house. I can't remember how it started, but I feel like it started from when you called him out about the masturbatory habits, which, to be fair from my side, I do kind of agree with you that, that it was a bit insensitive and a bit odd to be bringing that up.
Yeah.
Do you stand by that? How do you feel about that kind of starting off things on a downward spiral?
Yeah, because I think Marcello and I were fine before that. We hadn't had any clashes or anything. I think where I maybe went wrong was I was like, oh, I panicked about my work and like the sort of conversations that might be clipped in, like as if I'm participating in conversations that are maybe like a little bit too revealing, I would say. But actually that probably wasn't my main point or my main feeling. It was just something I leaned on in the moment. It was part of the panic for sure. It was just a situation where we were all been asked to sit on the sofas and I couldn't leave. And normally in the house, if there was a conversation, there were things I just didn't want to talk about.
Okay.
And there are things that I wouldn't talk about with people I don't know very well anyway.
Yeah.
And I, in that moment, felt like I couldn't leave. So I tried to kind of jokingly say, guys, like our parents are watching. And then that sort of prompted a bit of an angry reaction when I expected it just to kind of laugh and die down.
Yeah.
And then I think it escalated, maybe way more than it needed to. And I think that on reflection, I think Marcello felt like I had shamed him publicly, which I did apologize to him for. That was not my intention. But certainly there were lots of things that were said in the house that I didn't agree with from multiple people. I'm not singling out one person.
Yeah.
But it was difficult to call things out in there because I don't know, everybody seemed to think everything was fine all the time.
I think also like you have to respect that like you're not with your boys from home, and some of the conversations that you might have outside of the house with a different group of people from all different backgrounds like might not be taken well.
Yeah, and I think for me it was a bit of a sort of an accumulation, because there were lots of things that were said in there that I was a bit like, oh, don't, it just doesn't sit with how I sit morally in terms of, you know, how I talk about women and relationships and things like that. And you know, the Big Brother was intervening. It wasn't just me that was noticing things that maybe shouldn't be talked about.
There's also morals, and there's telling someone that their pH levels are off, which is just crazy. Like, it's like, I get where you're coming from 100%, but I was watching like, yeah, this is wild. I can't believe that. Obviously, we didn't see those interventions from Big Brother, like you said, but I mean, he did have a conversation with AJ when he came out, which I feel like it was put to light a bit more. I think he realised a bit more then, oh, these conversations actually didn't come across like he thought they did as well. So
Marcello was genuinely thought he was engaging in banter that was reciprocal. I think.
You then had another disagreement it was what, like the last couple of episodes, I think it was really soon towards when you were leaving the house, where Marcello basically, I don't know, what was the context around that last argument you had? It was really heated, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was about.
So it was on the last night, actually. So we had a really lovely evening. We had a dinner party. Big Brother gave us a little outfit to wear. And we were all on like quite a positive sort of mood or vibe, I guess. And I think it actually started with Emma sharing how she felt about living with Lily in the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and that
yeah.
sort of caught me off guard, because I knew that, you know, people had maybe felt irritated with Lily a couple of times, but I didn't realise it was that serious, that people had said, you know, that she was making them miserable in the house. I didn't realise it was at that level, but it was almost like a comment on why didn't you sort of put her right or put her in her place, like she might have listened to you. And it sort of escalated from there, because then Marcello's, and I was kind of saying like, this is how I feel about Lily. I wanted to defend Lily. I wanted to protect Lily. I personally didn't find her annoying to live with at all. I think that she got scapegoated a lot. She was certainly not the most untidy, not the most unclean. This is just a bit of a storyline that Big Brother grabbed, and actually I want to squash that because it's not true. There were people that were louder than Lily. The last night argument, Emma was sharing with me how difficult she had found it to live with Lily, and I was kind of responding to that and saying that, you know, from my perspective, Lily was scapegoated in the house. There were lots of loud people in the house, not just Lily. There were lots of screamers in the house, not just Lily.
There were indeed.
Lots of messy people in the house, not just Lily. So I felt like throughout the show she'd been scapegoated. So again, on the last night, my position was to defend Lily and protect Lily. So the way it became about me and Marcello was that his argument was, do you think that you gave me the same grace that you gave Lily?
Right.
The same understanding of difference?
Yeah. The way we both just looked at each other.
And I don't perceive the comments made by Marcello as coming from a place of difference in the way that I perceive Lily's behaviour and actions to come from a place of difference.
Me neither.
Is all I'll say about that.
I completely agree with you. On that note, we have another special guest from Big Brother. Please welcome Lily! Welcome. You came matching today.
Yeah, we are matching.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. It's like mother and daughter vibes.
Yeah, I feel like we're like strawberry bonbons.
It's kind of your label sticking out as well.
Oh, sorry.
It was kind of accidental on purpose, but a panic this morning of, oh my God, we actually have to get there. And then pulling out clothes and be like, we match, never mind, let's go.
You both look great. It's giving girl band. I want to do a vibe check with you, Lily.
Yeah.
Vibe check. Oh, it changed again. I'm still not over it. I've got a few icebreaker questions for you. So let's take it away. What was your first job?
Working at a Chinese, and it still is.
So are you going back there?
Well, like, yeah, because I love it, and I can't just leave it.
I don't blame you.
Like, I can't just leave it, so it's like balancing it out, it all out. Well, I can't leave there.
I want to talk about that more afterwards, but we've got another vibe check question. What is your favourite way to waste time?
Going on my iPad.
No, I'm not laughing. It's just, you give iPad kid,
That's why when I was so bored, I didn't know what to do, because when I'm bored, I go on my iPad, so it like proper like confused me.
Do you like a bit Flappy Bird? Because I love Flappy Bird now.
I like, what's it called? Piano tiles. Bad romance on piano tiles, like that.
And if you could be any age for a week, what age would you be? This one stumped you,
I
innit?
don't know. Maybe like 6 or 7.
6. Any reason?
Or like maybe just like a baby.
Yeah. I mean, I would always
Like
go
a
back
newborn?
to baby because life is stressful. So I'd
Like,
love
you don't
to
have
just.
to do anything.
I'd love
at
to be
all.
suckling on my mum's teat right now. Trust me. Anyway, probably shouldn't have said that on the podcast. Lily, welcome. Let me just grab. Okay, here. I've just wait. Technical issue on my iPad right now.
That's such a tiny iPad.
Isn't it tiny? Have you got a bigger one than this?
Yeah, mine's massive.
Yeah, I do love
the
a bigger
iPad.
But
iPad.
it's that colour as well. Like, I would generally just use that as a phone, but you can't have a SIM on iPads.
Yeah, I would also be concerned if you're walking around like, hello,
She
would you
does.
answer the Chinese calls like that?
When
takes
I
the iPad to the club.
auditioned for Big Brother, they couldn't contact me for ages because I lost my phone in Gay Village in Manchester. So I just walked around without a phone for like months. And I got email like, we've been trying to contact you for ages. And I was like, so I nipped round my sisters to give them a call.
Oh, I
And then I
love
was
you.
like, I need to get a phone now. I got a phone.
Have you always been so high energy?
Yeah.
Could you give the audience at home one of your iconic screams?
It started in the hotel room. Like, the producer was like, you need to keep it down, being the chaperone. I just kept doing it because I was just so nervous. And then they were like, yeah, can you quiet down a bit? Because I had Beyonce Homecoming on Netflix. Because you could only like watch Netflix locked in on iPad. So
Right.
I just had Beyonce loud blast in the hotel room.
You are both so for the gays, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I couldn't be happier right now.
She's so queer coded yet so straight.
I know.
I've never been told that, but because like, yeah.
Have you got like any gay mates? Are you like a kind of no? You no. Sorry, I meant gay men.
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking before the house.
Yeah.
But like now I have so many
I
coming
was
out.
gonna say, do you know what I can see? A pride tour for you both, like next year.
Gets on a float.
That
a
needs to
float?
happen. Like, you know, when the cars like tow the floats.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Like
to
a
explain
big
this.
truck thing.
Like a
with
truck
music playing.
Down a road
like an open top bus kinda. Yeah. On the I can see that happening. I can see that happening.
with a flag.
So, Lily, you were quite misunderstood in the
Yeah.
house. How did it feel having Ali there to kind of, you know, help you and
Yeah.
guide you?
Yeah, like I think in the house, like a lot of people didn't understand me. And then as soon as I spoke to Ali, that's why it didn't air, but after she had that conversation and said, I think you're really genuine and sweet, I ran to the bathroom and started crying because it just meant so much to me. Because I thought, like, I only have a few friends outside the house. Like, I don't really like proper like click with people. And with Ali, I was just able to do it straight away. And I don't know what I would have done without her in the house. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. what I
You
would
two
have
became such a good duo together. And Ali, what was it like with Lily? Like, you really took her under your wing in there. Did you feel like a sense of responsibility as well because of how harsh it was in there?
Yeah, I think it was honestly that conversation that I think went viral, which obviously we had no idea was going to be a thing at all, about her talking about her job, and she was so passionate and it was so sweet. And then we were like learning about each other. And within about a few minutes, I was like, someone genuine, this is so nice.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, but maybe she might ruffle a few feathers because people were kind of like, it was loud in storage and they were talking about Lily. So I was like, I could sense that maybe people were feeling some irritation towards her. And I was like, must protect this woman at all costs.
I was
Yeah.
so
I
excited
tried
to
to.
speak to her in the storage because we seen the board in storage of all the people, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's a criminal psychologist in the house. Like, what's going to happen?" I was like, "Fuck off!" So I'm gonna speak.
You can swear.
I was like,
honey, you can
"Fuck off!
swear.
I can't wait to speak to her." I was like, "I'm so excited!" And like after storage, when I came out, I was like, "Oh, in the house," and then like you were the person I ran to straight away because I thought it was so cool about your job, and that's why I wanted to get to know about your job.
But you did actually speak to me on the first night, you know, before we got separated.
I don't
know if
remember
you
this. It was all a blur.
You were a blur because you were moving around so
Like my hands
quickly.
were like this. Everyone was like, "You need to
Lily,
calm
a lot of people in the first couple of days on these shows, typically like energy wise, just kind of like wind down a little bit. And you just entered here.
She
I
came
wouldn't
in
even
and
say you
screamed at my
stayed there.
face.
You went like there. It was
I
hilarious.
wanted to come across dead cool. Like I wanted to do a Maya Jama Love Island entrance, like coming out the car. Like we were practicing it in the hotel room. Like I was gonna do like a slow mo, like whip my hair, like really cool. And then I literally came out. I was like, oh my god! And I didn't even think like I would be living in a house with people. Like I thought I'd be like living in a house on my own. Like I just was thinking about
Big
me the whole
Brother.
time. I know. I just didn't think about the other people in the house.
Yeah, it was a lot. Exit was also, we watched it and that, I mean, obviously it's overwhelming
so
for anyone,
nervous.
but both of you, like when you left the house, it was honestly like, oh my God, because everyone is so feral in that crowd as well. Were you both like super overwhelmed with?
I haven't seen your exit yet, and she wouldn't let me watch it yesterday. So
Lily is, it's just
like, because when you're isolated from so many people and then you sat on that couch for 3 hours and they put like screaming through the audio, loud blast.
oh, do they?
Yeah, so you're stuck on a couch with like audio, like screaming.
Yeah.
And you're waiting, you're like, oh, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And you can't move off the couch. And then when I heard my name, I was like, oh my God. And then I got so scared, but then I stopped and I tried to do a bit of a strut, then got really scared again.
It was, but it was super. I couldn't do that. I was actually saying to Kane when we were watching it, I thought the thought of just being around the same people for that amount of time, literally leaving, and it's so overwhelming. Like, I would have had a breakdown. So you're both better than I would have been.
my nerves subsided because I was so desperate to get out. I was about, I don't know if you saw the size of the platforms I had on. I was about to boot the door down and go out. Couldn't wait. I was so excited to go home that I didn't care where I came or where I landed or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I got nervous when they announced I was the winner. And I think I crouched on the floor, and I don't think they aired it, but Big Brother was giving me a proper pep talk. Like,
Oh, okay.
Ali, you've got to, strike a pose when you get out.
Okay.
Make sure you engage with the crowd. And I was like, okay, like a little processing robot, being like, I'm going to do all these things. And then I got out and saw all these posters, and I was just like,
Yeah, it was such a lovely response from everyone
couldn't
for
believe
you.
it.
I bet that was nice as well, because it was just you and Marcello for quite a long bit of time in there. How was that lead up to you both finding out? Did you actually talk? Because they kept just showing clips of you both just sat there like...
We did talk. No, we did talk, but we couldn't really hear the crowd because they, like Lily said, they play this like generic crowd noise through the thing, so you can't always hear the reaction of the crowd.
Right, I didn't know that.
It's only for the few seconds where they're like, "You're live, please don't
Okay.
swear," and then obviously we could hear some boos and we could hear some cheers. It wasn't awkward.
That's good though. It's good that it wasn't awkward because it's a big thing for the both of you.
Yeah,
so I'm
we
glad.
had some kind words between each
Yeah.
other, so it was all right.
Well, that's nice. That surprised me. So that's
Yeah.
nice.
No.
I want to talk about your jobs quickly before the show, because you're both from like such different job vibes, to be fair. Ali, I'll start with you. What is it exactly that you did? Because I feel like from the house when Lily, you were describing it to Lily, I was like, Lily, I was just sat there like, what is going on?
Yeah, so I'm a forensic psychologist. So, I mean, it can mean different things, but I was working with, initially I was a therapist working in psychiatric hospitals and also in prisons. And then more recently I was working with people in prison to see who might be okay or safe enough to be released.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. So you're like,
that was my job.
yeah. So you went into the house very well equipped as well to kind of suss some people out. I'm getting it now. And Lily, talk to me about the Chinese, because this is an iconic job.
Yeah, so I've worked at the Chinese takeaway since I was 14 and I love it.
I love it too. So do you get a discount? That's my first question.
No, so I just get free food when I go in there and I get a takeaway to bring home as well. And sometimes I make a profit off it because I eat in the takeaway and then I'll charge my family £5 for a meal.
Oh my God, that's so unreal.
I didn't know you did that.
What? Yeah, I make a profit off it.
So you're an entrepreneur as well?
Yeah, an entrepreneur.
Would you ever make your own Chinese?
Probably not. Like, I don't cook there. Like, I don't really do much. I just answer the phone.
Would you ever buy a Chinese?
Like a shop?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's too much work. Like, I just like it because it's quite a stress-free job and, like, there's free food. And I absolutely love the people who work there.
Well, Ali, I think you could maybe spend some of your winnings on buying a Chinese and you could joint venture it.
Run it together.
So
I'll be the
now
server.
we've signed ourselves up for a vegan cafe / strip club and a Chinese restaurant. all
No,
in one.
but
I could see it's been an
all in one.
empire.
What about a vegan Chinese cafe?
I'd go. With your winnings, have you thought about, I've heard about the holiday to Ibiza, but have you
Yeah.
thought about anything else with winning the money?
Not yet. Mainly because I'm not actually working at the moment. So
So-
I have to have a think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've literally just been trying to get used to being back out the house and dealing with all of that. And then I said I would pay for Lily's trip to Ibiza, but it seems to be morphing, this plan. So yesterday it became, can we go to Disneyland and get drunk? And I was like, I don't even know if you're allowed to drink at Disneyland.
Yeah, you can.
I think if you put it in like a cup and
Okay.
take it in, I
So
think
the
that should
answer
be
is
fun.
no.
Yeah, me.
But
So
you
if
can
you do it
sneak in.
illegally,
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, okay.
I think that sounds fun. I think Ibiza would still be fun. Would you go with Lily to Ibiza?
Everyone asked me this. Lily's answer is yes.
Yeah, we can do like some like chill stuff like Old Town, but like still get drunk.
I love Ibiza. Go every year.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to
Are you
show
gonna
you
come
guys
then?
around. I would love to
Let's
come.
document it then.
I
Let's
would
go together.
I would kill my firstborn, probably can't say that, to come with you. Good thing I'm gay. I would love to come.
Let's go like every single club and like every single rave.
Yeah. We could also get a boat. I did that last year. That's
I
fun.
want to do
wanna
that
do.
boat party. I want to do.
Boat party's fun. There's chill places and restaurants. Obviously high, which is crazy.
Like oh yeah, the bathroom in the disco in the tobacco.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do as well.
Okay.
What type of music taste have you both got?
I'll just listen to anything, me.
Yeah, mine's.
But I do like Beyonce. My Spotify rap first one, Beyonce.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, same.
Well, let's go then. We'll document it. We'll have to put. I've said before. We'll put a GPS tracker on you.
You'll need what's it called? AirTag.
I
Apple
love
AirTag,
running away
100%.
on nights out and then like all connecting.
I'd be
and then
terrified,
and then
really.
Fills me with
Like,
anxiety. and
there's
dread.
something so fun about running away from all your friends and then you all meet up and then it fills you with like so much
Not when you
happiness.
ain't got a phone.
What?
You know when you haven't got a phone.
I know. I literally get my iPad out in the club. Like, can I connect to your hotspot? I text them on Snapchat. Like, where are
Oh
you?
my god, I'm obsessed. One thing that was a crazy moment from this series, which I loved, was when you were relaying the messages from home for Ali, and you told Ali. Wait, I've actually got the quote here. Is it Vivian? Was it
Vivian?
Tell her Vivian loves her unconditionally was changed to she loves Lily and Shegs unconditionally.
The thing is, I was so proud that I delivered that message, and I genuinely thought I got it right.
Listening to it back,
We watched it together last night.
I can understand slightly, if you were excited, how it might have been changed at the start.
Yeah.
But the Shegan thing, I was like,
No, I think it's the tell Vivian she, and I think I mixed she with Shegs, and then I just added Lily on the end because it just sounded right.
I don't know if they edited in how many times I asked her, like, Lily, are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Because even if my family loved Shegan, which I'm sure they do, I don't feel that they would have used moments of
That
like 30
platform.
second phone
Like,
calls
I
to say
thought, we thought it was like, I read this conspiracy theory that it's like a message that like Shegan's a good person and like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like,
Oh,
we had a
what,
bit
the
of a
fan
argument.
theories?
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
put, and like we thought it was like a message, like, no, he's actually a good person.
Don't worry about the Red Witch thing. It was just a
Yeah.
joke. So we were like, okay, maybe.
Maybe they're sending a message.
did you think afterwards, were you still uncertain? Did you just move on from that situation? Like, I don't think that actually happened.
I didn't think that it had happened, and I was quite suspicious that the message was wrong. But then I was like, you know what? Like, who cares?
Yeah,
And actually,
exactly.
it was quite nice because then Shegan was really happy. Like,
It lifted spirits, you know?
we bonded over that, even though it was false information.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
thought
all
it might have been
It meant-
Sarah though.
It mended relationships anyway, even if it was wrong.
Yeah, because then I was like, oh no, Shegan's like really not.
Yeah.
Really, I'm seeing.
It just really made me giggle that everyone online was like, why did Lily do that? Like, and I was
I
like,
know.
she obviously just misheard. And could you
Yeah.
drink in there?
Right, it was a Marchalito.
Could we drink in there?
They gave us so much alcohol.
Because it was giving that I've done that pissed and excited before. And the message always changes, you know?
And that night we had a Marchalito. So Marcello got quite drunk the night before. I was like, how'd you get that drunk? Like, how did you do it? And he was like,
Marchalito?
you've got to put the rosé, a gin and tonic can, and then a dash of paprika and turmeric. But I put like loads of it in. And I literally had one glass and like...
So the mixer was rosé with the alcohol, like the
yeah,
gin
she
and
was
tonic
mixing
can.
wine with gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Then,
One
but
glass.
it's the paprika and turmeric.
So
Yeah, that's what it was.
we had this thing at school.
paprika, not
We
the
called
gin.
it like a psycho cocktail. And me and my friends, if we wanted to get like wild at sixth form, we'd mix our vodka with rosé, like really cheap rosé. And yeah, it's like,
We used to do that with pink Lambrini when I was young.
did you
really
love a
bad.
Lambrini?
Terrible.
Do you like my nan drinks Lambrini?
Thanks, Lily.
Oh my god. Rule breaking in the house.
Oh yeah.
Lily, you broke a lot of rules. You got any regrets?
No,
Or-
because at the end of it, like when I was sat on that bed and they were all laughing, I thought, you put me up for eviction every week. I don't care. I'm going to rule break. And I'm probably, I thought, if I leave, like if they get no food, sorry, Ali, but like you couldn't even eat any of the food anyway because of the dietary requirements. It won't make
Oh, you're a
difference.
gluten-free
Yeah.
queen.
Yeah, gluten-free, vegetarian, no dairy.
Every single thing you've said in this podcast has just made me like you even more. I can't deal with this. And
Can't
you.
eat anything.
I had an allergy test. I can't touch anything, but I
Yeah.
still do it. I just
Same.
always have
And then you
a
weigh
blow.
up the risk and the consequence. Risk and reward. Like,
Yeah.
is this piece of chocolate worth it?
Yeah, and look, I might have crapped myself on the tube a couple of times.
Who
It's
hasn't?
worth it. Do you know what I mean? Who hasn't? So no regrets with the rule breaks.
No, I don't know. It's an hard one. Like, obviously at the start, like, I didn't know I was doing it. Like, you just can't help it. But then, during the end, like, I did do it deliberately because I just thought I'm sick of everyone and you always put me up for.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And do you know who proper backed
Examination.
you with that? It was Nathan was really defending you because he was like, I can understand. Like, she's been up for eviction every week. Whether she behaves or doesn't
Yeah.
behave, she's still getting nominated. So I can understand why she's
Yeah.
getting annoyed and not caring.
I do think as well, Lily, like you couldn't have done right at some points in the house for like whatever you did, people always had a comment to make. Like even when you quieten down and stuff like that, there'd always be a comment. And it was like, how do you win aside just being authentically
Like,
yourself?
During Halloween week, I thought, do you know what? I'm actually just going to shut the fuck up if, like, no one likes it. So I was really, like, behaved. And then I get nominated anyway. So I just thought, I don't care. Like, I'll just do what I want now.
Yeah.
And I
Speaking
will
of,
eat the chocolate. Because people would hide the chocolate as well. Like, when we got to shopping,
Yeah.
I never hid anything. But people had, like, chocolate bars, like, under the bed.
Yeah.
And that's so I thought, like...
Fuck
Like,
it.
I never did that, so I'm going to eat it. And baked potato had honey in a tea before I even ate the chocolate. And they aired that
I
on the
remember
show.
that, but they made out like you were the villain.
Yeah, but I was the villain. But
Yeah.
she broke the rule before it anyway.
Speaking of Halloween week, I know we actually voice noted and you mentioned that there was an exorcism that didn't make the cut. And I just wanted to
Oh,
not
yeah.
you going.
So it was before Halloween week. I was going to
Okay,
have an
fine.
exorcism. Because
What went down?
we just thought the devil was connected with me for certain reasons. So
Nobody thought that.
Hannah and Shagan. Well, Nathan was really against it, but it was mostly a conversation with Hannah. She said, like,
Yeah, I
the
don't
devil
think-
can easily come to you.
So was there ever any mention of practicing the exorcism in the house? Did
What
you get
happened was
there?
I put red lipstick on and I was like, the devil's in me. And he was like, fuck off. Like, I'm sick of you. We're not even doing the exorcism now. I was like, okay. So then I
Not
just
them
got-
guys, we're out. We're not
And then
doing the exorcism.
He was like, you're taking the piss now. But I felt like I sell myself because I said as a joke, I did an Illuminati sign on my VT to shit my mum up. So then they were like, yeah, like we think like the devil's like. So then
She welcomed him into the Big Brother house and everyone else was trying to
so then I
usher
put
him
my
out the
lips
back
through and I
door.
went, run. And he really got
This
pissed off.
explains why Shagan said Jesus be a fence in there because I feel like he had to with
I think they were really scared between the devil and the witch. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys were a lot to tackle. So we have a segment on here called the messy bag, which is the lights change, and we have some dilemmas from people at home. And I thought, who better to give advice than a psychologist and the most iconic person I've ever met. So let me read these out and then let me know what you guys think. So one of them is, I recently got out of a relationship and now my ex-boyfriend's best friend is trying to make a move on me. Should I tell him?
Yes.
no.
Oh, wait, no. It depends.
Block, delete, move on from everyone.
Okay. So you're quite strict with that.
So this person has been contacted by their ex's best friend and they're wondering if they should tell their ex.
Yeah.
Because presumably there's a little agenda in there of maybe I'll get a rise out of my ex.
Well, yeah, it depends if
You
the
are
ex
so
is good
clever.
or bad.
I think that's not a good motivation to tell anyone anything. And I think all of these people sound like they don't need to be in your life anymore.
Can I, after this, can I get your number? And then every day, if I ever have just something come up and I just need a little bit of advice, can I just have an alley hotline? Because that would be unreal.
Take the high road, ignore everyone. Yeah. But yes, you can have my number.
Thank you.
If the ex is bad, then 100% get with his best friend. That's what I think. But it depends on the ex. But then you must like your ex if you're telling him, or maybe she wants to speak to the ex and she still misses the
Yes.
ex.
Right.
They want to get a rise out of the ex.
There's an
and
agenda.
that's the wrong motivation to hand any information over.
Okay, right, we'll go with that. And then this one, don't know how you both going to feel about this one. My boyfriend and I recently moved in together and it's been going so well until I found out that he's been picking his nose and wiping it on our new cream sofa. It's giving me the ick. How should I approach this?
Ugh.
I say it's fine.
I defended you on Big Brother late and live.
I didn't think they would have aired that, but like at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I picked it and I ate it because I'm sorry, I think it's worse wiping it on a cow.
Well, yeah, someone brought it up on Big Brother Late Live, and I said,
wiping it on a person.
What? I never wiped it on anybody. Can I
She
just
actually
say?
didn't.
okay, that was false.
Slander.
That was
okay,
false
that was
info.
slander. I just said to the general public, if that's what she likes doing and that's how she passes her time, then who are we to judge?
I think she
some
made
people
a
said they
joke
flick it.
about doing it, but you never actually did it. Did
Well,
you?
some people say they like flick it in places. I was like, well, at least it's going on me and not like something else.
So do you think the ick is warranted with wiping on the sofa?
Yeah.
Massive ick. You need
Okay.
to burn the sofa.
Yeah.
And maybe
Intervention?
It's a bit dramatic. Just give it a wipe and then just
tell him not to do it.
Okay.
Ever again.
Tell him not to do it and give it a wipe. So, we're at our final segment, which is the gift bag or the goodie bag. I did not know what it said on there. I couldn't read fast enough. So, would you like to both close your eyes? And I've got you a gift.
Oh, I'm scared. But okay. How long do we keep our eyes shut for?
Okay. Right. Open your eyes. So I have a broomstick for you, Ali.
Finally, I get a
and
broomstick.
some Tangfastics
Yes.
for you,
I have
Lily.
so
This
many.
is what I was missing in the house. And I have a friend.
I thought these were very apt, and I thought you'd love them. Cracking them straight open. That's my girl.
I love a blackcurrant crocodile.
Didn't you have a song as well?
Give me the Tangfastics. I didn't even know it's a song. I was just screaming it to Ali.
It was great. It was
I
great.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great one. Thank you both so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
This
for
has
having
been
me.
No,
so
thank you.
surreal for me because I think you're both amazing in there. As soon as you came out, I was like, I must get them on the podcast. You've been amazing.
Thank you.
What's next for both of you?
Don't know. I was meant to be having a shift tonight, but obviously I'm in. But I'm working tomorrow. But like, go on.
I'm not sure. We're not sure.
Okay.
Um.
And that's so fine to be
Yeah.
taking your time. It
I
was a
don't know.
lot.
Like we didn't
so.
expect any of this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm at a
fantastic.
crossroads. Go back to old life, or maybe do something different. We'll see.
Sure.
Or maybe Lily and Ali duo.
I say take the risk and do something different. And I'll see you in Ibiza as well.
Yes. Oh, my God, that'd be so fun.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you everyone at home for listening or watching. Make sure to rate us 5 stars on Spotify and like, comment, subscribe. And comment your favourite Tangfastics thing. You know, what is it? Blackcurrant crocodile is your favourite? Mine's
carrot.
the dummy. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.